The Mary Celeste, the ghost ship, without a crew. Few mysteries of the sea have haunted human imagination as deeply as the story of the Mary Celeste. Even more than a century after its discovery, this abandoned ship continues to provoke questions, theories, and speculation. It was found drifting calmly across the Atlantic Ocean, its sails partially set, its cargo intact, and its personal belongings still in place. Yet every single person on board had vanished without a trace. No signs of violence, no clear evidence of a struggle, no bodies ever recovered. The Mary Celeste became the ultimate ghost ship, a maritime puzzle that still resists a definitive explanation. In this video, we'll count down 10 remarkable facts about the Mary Celeste that reveal how one ordinary voyage turned into one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in history. Before diving into the facts, it's important to understand why this case is so unsettling. Ships have been lost at sea countless times due to storms, war, or human error. Crews have perished, ships have sunk, and tragedies have been documented throughout maritime history. But the Mary Celeste is different. It wasn't destroyed, it wasn't wrecked, it wasn't even badly damaged. Instead, it was simply empty. That absence is what makes this story so powerful and so enduring. Fact 10. The Mary Celeste was not always considered unlucky. The ship we know as the Mary Celeste began its life under a different name, the Amazon. Built in 1861 in Nova Scotia, Canada, it was a standard merchant vessel designed for transatlantic trade. From the very beginning, however, the ship seemed plagued by misfortune. Its first captain fell ill and died shortly after the ship's maiden voyage. Over the next few years, the Amazon was involved in multiple accidents, including collisions and groundings. Eventually, it was heavily damaged in a storm and sold as salvage. When the ship was rebuilt and renamed the Mary Celeste, its troubled past faded into obscurity. But in hindsight, many would later see these early incidents as ominous warnings rather than coincidences. Fact 9. The final voyage began as an ordinary commercial trip. In November 1872, the Mary Celeste set sail from New York Harbor bound for Genoa, Italy. Its cargo consisted of 1,701 barrels of denatured alcohol, a common industrial shipment at the time. The ship was captained by Benjamin Spooner Briggs, an experienced and respected mariner. Briggs did not take the voyage lightly. He brought his wife, Sarah, and their 2-year-old daughter, Sophia, with him. The rest of the crew included 7 seasoned sailors, carefully selected by Briggs himself. There was no indication of conflict, danger, or concern when the ship departed. To all appearances, this was a routine journey across the Atlantic. Fact 8. The ship was found adrift under mysterious but calm conditions. On December 5, 1872, about a month after the Mary Celeste departed New York, another vessel, the British brigantine Dei Gratia, spotted it drifting in the Atlantic Ocean, roughly 400 miles east of the Azores. From a distance, the ship appeared damaged but still seaworthy. Its sails were partially raised, and it was moving slowly through calm waters. When a boarding party climbed aboard, they made a chilling discovery. The ship was completely deserted. The lifeboat was missing, but everything else suggested an orderly abandonment rather than a violent catastrophe. Fact 7. Everything valuable was left behind. One of the most puzzling aspects of the Mary Celeste mystery is what was not taken. The crew's personal belongings, clothing, and navigation instruments were still on board. The captain's logbook was present, with the last entry dated November 25, 1872, just 10 days before the ship was discovered. Food and water supplies were ample, enough to last months. The cargo was untouched. Even the captain's pipe and personal effects were found in his cabin. If the crew had intended to abandon ship permanently, why leave behind everything of value? Fact 6. There were no signs of violence or struggle. Investigators carefully examined the ship for evidence of foul play. There were no bloodstains, no broken furniture, and no signs of a fight. The ship's hull showed no damage severe enough to threaten its survival. Some water was found in the hold, but not an unusual amount for a vessel of that age. Importantly, the alcohol cargo barrels were largely intact, though a few were empty, likely due to leakage rather than tampering. The scene suggested neither piracy nor mutiny, eliminating some of the most obvious explanations. Fact 5. The lifeboat was gone, but no storm was recorded. The absence of the lifeboat suggests the crew left the ship deliberately. But why would they do so in calm weather? Weather records from the region show no evidence of a severe storm at the time. If the crew feared imminent danger, such as sinking or explosion, abandoning ship might have seemed reasonable, but doing so without a clear emergency would have been extraordinarily risky. A lifeboat in the open Atlantic, even under good conditions, offered far less safety than the ship itself. Fact 4. Alcohol fumes may have played a role. One of the most widely accepted modern theories involves the cargo of denatured alcohol. Alcohol barrels were known to occasionally leak fumes, which could create the risk, or at least the perception, of an explosion. Some researchers believe Captain Briggs may have detected fumes and feared a catastrophic blast. In that scenario, he might have ordered the crew into the lifeboat temporarily, intending to return once the danger passed. A rope may have been used to keep the lifeboat tethered to the ship, but if that rope snapped, the crew could have drifted away, leaving the Mary Celeste to sail on alone. Fact 3. The legal aftermath was almost as strange as the disappearance. When the Dei Gratia brought the abandoned Mary Celeste to Gibraltar, a salvage hearing was held to determine compensation. The court was suspicious, even hinting at possible foul play by the salvage crew, though no evidence supported this. The captain of the Dei Gratia was never charged, but the prolonged investigation cast a shadow over everyone involved. Ultimately, the Mary Celeste was released, but its reputation was permanently tarnished. The mystery had already begun to take on a life of its own. Fact 2. Sensational stories distorted the truth. In the years following the incident, newspapers and writers exaggerated the story dramatically. Tales emerged of bloody decks, half-eaten meals, and supernatural forces. One of the most influential retellings came from a young writer named Arthur Conan Doyle, who later became famous for creating Sherlock Holmes. His fictionalized account introduced elements that were never part of the original investigation, cementing the Mary Celeste as a legend rather than a historical case. These embellishments helped the story endure, but they also obscured the real facts. Fact 1. The Mary Celeste remains a mystery because no single explanation fits perfectly. Despite decades of research, no theory fully explains every detail of the Mary Celeste case. Piracy doesn't fit the lack of violence. Mutiny contradicts the crew's character and experience. Natural disasters don't align with weather records. The alcohol fume theory is plausible but unproven. And the idea of supernatural involvement, while popular, lacks evidence. What remains is a rare historical anomaly. A ship that should not have been abandoned, found intact, yet forever empty. That unanswered question is precisely why the Mary Celeste still captivates us today. So there you have it. 10 remarkable facts about the Mary Celeste, a ship that sailed straight into legend. More than a ghost story, it is a reminder of how fragile certainty can be when humans confront the vast, indifferent ocean.